Good evening, everybody. This is R.S. Mallory and my co-host Steve Hall and Brian Ledford, who will be here shortly. And this is our WoW call for April 13th. And this is not a formal presentation, but rather than that, we're going to discuss the benefits of WoW, what it is, how it works in your body, and we're going to take a few testimonies. This call is for anybody on our combined different teams, so feel free to bring your prospects and your new promoters to it. First of all, let me just share a few things. Corporate still has their Tuesday morning call. They changed the venue. It is going to be a training by one of their leaders. We had a couple of great trainings, one by Randy Neighbors, who is up in Texas doing absolutely terrifically. And then Damar Zimmerman went over the compensation plan the other day, and that was a really good call. The most important part was Damar stood up and you could see he lost 43 pounds. It has changed his life. So this product, along with the POW gummy bears, the apple cider vinegar gummy bears, are a terrific combination for folks to use if you're not already taking apple cider vinegar. Burke Green, our president, is headed to Canada. He is headed at the end of the month to Calgary, Edmonton, and Saskatoon. So I happen to have people in my organization in Canada. If you don't and you happen to know people, then just hop on whatever organizations, whatever social media or telephones you are on and ask people, who do you know in Saskatoon? And make it funny because I can't say it either. Calgary or Edmonton. The girls will be posting the dates. I think it'll be the 25th, 26th, or 27th, or at the 3 successive days on the last week. And why they're confining it to not telling people. I was on a special call for the Canadians last night, so I gathered that. But I have felt in my 30 years, I know Steve does too, wherever you know people, and if you don't know them, other people know them, take advantage of it. They let it slip last night. There's only 1,500 promoters in all of Canada, and Canada is absolutely humongous. They are suffering with 40% inflation, just like we are. Angel Rodriguez is going to be in Mexico at the end of the month, and then Lance and Burke will be, Burke will be in the Philippines and Korea. And they let it slip last night that there is going to be another LTO before the end of April. So if that's your bag and you like to get a bunch of different people for the LTO, they didn't say what it would be. I'm hoping it's going to be glutathione because they said it's going to be the biggest LTO that they've had so far. I'm on my 3rd bottle of glutathione and I had 4 bottles. So I'm anxiously awaiting the day when we can actually buy our glutathione. Let's segue a minute into David Wall, whose wife Cheryl has been taking the WoW very successfully, but she has some health issues, and she is also taking the glutathione. David?
Yeah, my wife Cheryl started taking the WoW, I think 5 weeks ago, and started taking the boost about, I think, 2 weeks ago. No, 3 weeks ago. But anyway, in the last 5 weeks, she's been averaging 2 pounds a week weight loss, and that's no kind of exercise. She's not able to do any kind of exercise program. She does drink plenty of water,
Right.
eats, and she does eat sensible. But she's been losing 2 pounds a week for 5 weeks now.
That's incredible. And what is the glutathione doing for her? Could she separate that out to say, or is it the combination of the WoW and the glutathione that's helping her so much with the pain and the weight loss?
It's definitely the combination.
Yeah.
She's definitely feeling a lot better, feeling more alert and stronger. And she just tell the difference in her whole body how she feels.
That's terrific. Thanks so much, David, for sharing that with us. And by the way, David's just knocking them dead, getting all kinds of customers and then turning them into promoters. And now he started putting in promoters too, all with the WoW. And I too am taking WoW. And I know Steve and Cindy are taking it as well. I know this is silly. I've never done this before, but Miss Vivian will appreciate this. Look, Miss Vivian, look at my jeans.
That's great. That's great.
Miss Vivian, these were the jeans, Miss Vivian,
Yes, I see you. Wow.
that I wore. Wow, that I wore when we were in Salt Lake City, and I roomed with Miss Vivian, and she saw that my belly was distended and I could hardly zip these jeans up. And now, as you can see, I lost 13, 14 pounds, and I'm feeling terrific. And by the way, I'm also taking the glutathione, and I find too, Dave, that it helped with my arthritis in my fingers, and it's helping with me sleep, and it's also, I just feel reinvigorated, like I have a song in my heart. Steve, I feel that when I wake up in the morning, that the birds are singing and there's a song, even if it's a dark, dreary day. You know, we've all come through the pandemic. We've all come through having to be sequestered or being afraid to walk through our supermarket or go to Bloomingdale's or Macy's because of what's going to happen with all these bugs that are in the air. And it causes a lot of stress and strain on our bodies. And those of us who are baby boomers are aging gracefully. Most of us, we've taken care of ourselves. We believe in health and wellness, but still we're concerned about what's going on out there. And I, for one, turned 74, never had a weight loss problem in my life. And all of a sudden I turn around and I gained this weight, and plus which I'm very healthy, but I just noticed my body isn't responding and recuperating the way it did even 5 or 6 or 7 years ago. Glutathione has changed that. My body has done a complete reversal on that. Steve, I know that you and Cindy are taking the WoW. Can you tell us about your experiences?
Well, I started kind of watching it. I was at one time, the thing we should have taken some pictures, we still got to do it, but I was 215 to 220 or something like that. And I started watching stuff, but then when I started taking a while, I was probably about 210 or something. Today I was 197.
Wow.
Yeah, and Cindy's, I know, at least 10, something like that.
That's terrific. Now, you know, Brian, who apparently got waylaid here, Brian is a diabetic, and he was on metformin, which is the ugliest medication that you could take. Doctors who prescribe it should have their MDs taken away from them. There is a myriad amount of information out there that it is poison. It is toxic to your kidneys, and it's toxic to your livers. So his doctor had him on that. And, you know, he dropped 12 pounds, I think, but he also and he's taking the glutathione as well, Steve, but he's also feeling what I'm feeling. He's feeling an uplifted countenance about himself. He says it's changing his eating habits, and I think we're all finding that because it's shrinking our appetites, and the foods that we're eating are better food choices. I'm a carbaholic, so I just don't, all of a sudden I have no cravings for carbs at all. No cakes, no cookies, no bread and butter, which is, I live for bread and butter, and I'm just not eating it. I love matzah and butter during Passover, and you know, I only ate it once. I just didn't care to eat it. So are you and Cindy, you told me that you and Cindy go out to eat quite frequently, and what happened? What's your experience when you go out to the restaurant?
Well, even when we go out anymore, we started a little bit prior to the WoW product, but we do it even more so now. Is we'll split something,
Right.
you know, and you just don't, just like I told you, I just got off the phone with another guy named Steve. He's an accountant down in Cincinnati, and he's lost about 10 pounds. He was down here a few weeks ago from Ohio. And he said, you just absolutely don't have the desire. You know, I mean, you could force yourself, but we cut the portions down and you don't really need it. And we don't have the cravings we have late at night, which we had before.
Yeah.
Just absolutely amazing. Now, I saw you noshing a little something when we were on our previous call. Were they nuts or something like that?
Yeah, just a handful of peanuts.
Right, there you go. And that is a healthy choice for people. So this product actually turns off the CB1 receptor on our brain, which is responsible for the munchies and any cravings that you may have. So it does turn it off. And when you do eat, you have to make a conscious effort to eat, and then you're making better quality choices. And Brian, welcome to the call. We were just talking about your blood sugar levels. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I was pleasantly surprised this morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pleasantly surprised. Yesterday I had stir fry with rice, and I didn't have a small helping. I had a pretty normal, probably a little less than normal, but still normally rice would spike my sugars a little bit. And it was 102 this morning fasting. So I was very happy with that.
Now, just for comparison for people who might not know, I mentioned to them that you were taking metformin, that you're off of the metformin, but what were your sugar levels so that we can do a comparison?
Yeah, there might be some people that hear. All winter long, my blood sugars were in the 200 range, quite often 250, give or take. One time I got off my metformin for 3 days. I take metformin and glipizide because metformin doesn't do enough. They had a second med called glipizide, and one weekend or 3-day period, I got off of those meds, and my blood sugar hit 380. I think it was maybe 390. It was really bad. So, but since I've been taking, I started about the 20th of February on Boost, and the 1st of March on WoW. By the 15th of March, I think the very first time I took my blood sugar, I wasn't really watching it that close, but it had gone down to 120s, and it stayed there for regular. I mean, I have a setting on my meter that I can check like what my last 7-day average is, and I posted that. It was 123, I believe.
Mhm.
Which, after being over 200, close to 250 all winter long, even when I was eating carefully, it didn't seem to matter. I was in the 200 range. I have another guy in our team that's going through the same thing, and he's been taking WoW for about a week now, and his blood sugar has not gone down. So I'm thinking maybe there's something to the Boost and WoW combination.
Right. And by the way, Brian, they let it slip in last night's Canada call that they're going to have an LTO by the end of the month. They said it's going to be the biggest LTO limited time offer that we've had so far. I'm crossing my fingers and my toes that it's going to be for the glutathione, because those of us who were privy to be able to get it in Salt Lake City are running out of it. The only way it's available now is if you buy the $999 pack. You've bought several of them because you're using it as samples, and then you're selling the bottles that you have to other people at a retail price, encouraging them to come in. There you go. Brian's got a dispensary there.
Mhm.
With
pushing pills, man.
With one bottle of glutathione with my name on it, just in case. Because I don't want to be without my glutathione either. So Brian, I don't know whether you knew it or not, but Burke is going to be in Canada. He's going to be in Calgary, Edmonton, and Saskatoon the last week of the month. And Jeff Olson, who now owns a network marketing company, has owned several. I had the pleasure of working with Jeff and meeting him in prepaid legal services, and we together won the Players Club trips, which was based on retention. And I got to know Jeff really well. He was partnered with who's the other guy, Steve?
Rory.
Eric Worre.
Yeah, and Eric Worre. And thank you. And we got to be really, really pretty friendly. And he, of course, wrote the book, The Slight Edge, which is you do a little bit every single day, even if you don't think you're getting any place. By the end of the month, you have accomplished a whole lot. There you go. Thank you, Phil. You have the CD. I have the book someplace. I don't know where it is. It is.
I have both.
There is a chart, and if you have the chart, would you send it to me, and I'll send it out to everybody, because I used to have that chart on my wall in the office, and I would actually mark off. I know Brian told me he's talking to 5 or 6 people a day. So you put whatever your goals are in it, and then you check mark it or you color it in just like a kid, because you can do this with your children too. And then give them a reward at the end of the month if they've done that. But if you do that in terms of network marketing, your business will grow exponentially. So it's absolutely extraordinary what can happen. Corporate, again, has their Tuesday morning calls. They put on hold their calls, their opportunity calls, all the calls that Carrie Marshall and Angel Wall are doing. They are not doing them anymore temporarily. They're going to have some kind of a new electronic system for people. So for anybody on our teams who want to bring them to a presentation that is not an exclusive Fuel Tap presentation with Dr. Lee, encourage them to join Go Life Work from Home with Lori Anderson and Bill. Lori Anderson and Bill and Ivan Cisco, and they do a great job. They open up their calls to everybody. Brian turned me on to it, and they just do an extraordinary job. They're veterans. They've been in the business for about 30 years as well. They have a very friendly, welcoming way about them, and they are terrific calls, and they record them. I believe they're just for the people on Facebook. Yeah, Brian?
As
Yeah.
far as I know, I think they do have others, but they said on the Monday night call that they want to, like the Saturday call, getting started right call. They don't want to do recording because they want to have people put a little bit of urgency on it to get there and be there live and participate with people versus, you know, being able to sit back and say, oh, I'll just catch the recording, which I was watching recording, but
Yeah. It's Go Life.
they're going to try and do that more often.
The Saturday calls
That's the
They're live.
the
They're live.
to getting started call, and it's fabulous. And as Brian said, the reason that they're not recording that is some people might be shy and they want to open it up for people to ask questions. And as Lori has said a million times, and I've said it in my career too, I'm sure we all have, there's not any stupid question, but people are shy. So when you encourage them and tell them this isn't being recorded, nobody will hear your question, ask us anything you want, which I think absolutely wonderful. So feel free again to bring your people. They're very, very generous. We're not on their team. We're no place near them. They're in a different part of the company. But I met them and spent a little time with Lori and Bill in Salt Lake City, and they're humble, nice people.
That's Go Life, L-I-F-E, or
Go
Go-
Squad Zoom.
Go-
Go Squad.
what?
Go
Go
Squad
Squad.
from home. Go Squad work from home.
Oh,
Facebook. Phil is a member. He can send you a link.
I'm there.
Steve, I'm pretty sure you've got a link.
Yeah, I am.
In fact, I think you're in it, Steve. It's just
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on it. I've sent him.
it's just
What time is it on Wednesdays?
it's on Monday nights. What time is it, Brian?
8:30 Eastern.
Oh, is it? Okay. I just kind of I will
Excuse me,
yes, Vivian.
this is Vivian. This is on their Facebook link.
Yes,
Go Squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send you
Work from home.
I'll send you information. Actually, you can ask Smiley because Smiley's a member of the group as well.
Okay, I sure will. Thank you.
Okay, please do that. Yeah, I mean, I could send it to you, but ask Smiley because he sponsored you.
I'm showing it to you on my screen right now.
Great, thanks,
He's
Brian.
not jealous. He shares me.
So, I like the fact that they invited Randy Neighbors, who is very successful. He's like a cowboy up in the Northwest Dallas, underneath Oklahoma. And I met him in Salt Lake City as well. And he brought about a half a dozen young cowboys who were all spiffied out in their brand new cowboy boots and their 10-gallon hats and their little bolo ties and stuff. These kids didn't know anything about network marketing. They were 18, 19, and 20 years old. But by the time they left, they were on fire. They got on the phones while they were there, and they started building a business. Randy's been in the industry about 30 years as well. He's a plain homespun, down-to-earth guy. And you know what? His claim to fame is that he is in the business. He makes money, but he's not in the business for the money. He's in the business to help other people attain their goals and dreams. And there's 40% inflation. People are looking for an opportunity. I sent around a link in one of my emails that you all have. It's his recording that he did on Lance's Tuesday morning call, not this Tuesday, the Tuesday prior to that. I'll read it out again. Randy says, if you want to build a group of customers, then just ask them if they want to lose some weight and give them a sample. And here's the sample that we're using, 4 capsules. If you, and a postcard that Rebecca and Brian have done, and Steve and Cindy have also done the brochure. And put your name and your link on it. But if you want to attract promoters and business builders, ask them this question. Ask them, who do you know who wants to lose, who could use to or would like to lose some weight? Same question, but instead of focusing it just on that person, which sometimes can be tenuous, and Brian had an experience with that. It was kind of dorky. It was the other person, but some people might take offense to it. You know, it's really silly. But if you ask people, who do you know, the first thing they're gonna say is, well, I need to lose some weight. And then you go through, you know, your little thing, and the close is, well, remember in the beginning, I asked you, who do you know who wants to lose weight? So which package would you prefer? We offer this package or that package. And let's see about those people that you talked about that you know to lose weight. Let's get your product paid for. And I will help you by contacting them, make a list of those people, and I can show you what videos to send to them, or I will help you by getting on the phone with you if you're a little hesitant to do that. So which package would you prefer? The 1, the 2, did you want to log in and then get the POW and the WOW? And by the way, folks, I'm going to contact Brandy Green because I think it's really important that we allow people to start their business with the POW and the WOW. I have changed my auto ship to 1 POW and 1 WOW. I take Bragg's apple cider vinegar myself. I take it every day. I'm a sauerkraut and pickles gal, so I don't mind apple cider vinegar. It is an acquired taste like beer or gin or chocolate cake. But most people don't like it. So it's a brilliant idea to have these gummy bears, right, Brian?
Yeah, for sure.
Brian's taken them too. So I changed my auto ship to that so that I could at least taste them and have the experience, because I had this epiphany one night. I woke up in the middle of the night and said, wait a minute. Most people aren't going to drink apple cider vinegar the way I do because they don't like the taste. It doesn't taste very nice at all. But if I can hand them a gummy bear and they like the gummy bear and it works in conjunction with the WOW and they lose more weight, and the proof is in the pudding. Lance, Burke, Damar Zimmerman, Brandy, and the other wife, they are all taking glutathione, WOW, and POW. And Angel Rodriguez, who went through an entire bottle of POW in the car doing one of these calls for us one day because he couldn't stop eating them. They tasted so good.
Yeah, what I like about the POW, it's kind of like you're eating candy when you take your meds or your pill. So it's kind of a little treat because they do taste really good.
Right. And you know what? That's something I take my apple cider vinegar drink in the morning. So it sets the tone of my day. But I believe that you could take an apple cider vinegar gummy in the morning, and then you could take one maybe mid-afternoon if you wanted, if you have that sweet tooth, because it sates your desire for sweet. But you could also take one at night because apple cider vinegar will work at night in your body. Don't forget, we don't take WOW past 2 o'clock in the afternoon, because some people who are sensitive to caffeine, this is an herbal concoction and formulation that's excellent. There is no natural caffeine, but we have an herb in it that simulates what caffeine does. So a lot of people experience a buoying up of their energy during the day. And if they're, Rebecca is a great case, right, Brian? Tell us about Rebecca, how she reacted the first time she took WOW.
She had a rough experience when she takes 2, so she just keeps taking 1, and she is down 5 pounds, by the way. Even though she's only taking 1 a day, she's 5 weeks now. She's down 5 pounds. RS, did you get that? Did you get a chance to watch that Carissa Rogers?
I did not, but go ahead, talk about it.
If you get a chance to, if anybody's been in a leaderboard lately, if you look in your back office and the place where you get paid or whatever, you'll see who the leaders are. There's a lady named Carissa Rogers. she's number one in the company. She's in the last I could look it up. It's around 40 people she's sponsored in the last month, and it's like that's just seems crazy to me. But because I haven't done that, I'm actually on a bad streak right now. I've contacted 80 people, and I've only got a couple customers out of it this last week or so.
Wow.
So, but you go in there and see what this lady's doing, and she did a live video, and I just forwarded it to David and Phil and Steve. Get a chance, just watch that. It's about a half hour, and you'll see what kind of enthusiasm this lady brings and why she's sponsoring so well. I think you guys all know it's
Okay.
best to learn from those who are having the best results. You don't want to hear my results right now. I've told you what they are. I'm going through a slump, but you know, we can all learn something from a young lady like this, and the enthusiasm she's showing is pretty contagious. So it kind of got me fired up watching what she had to say.
Terrific. Thanks, Brian. I'd like to add one thing to that now. We're all entering into another period. April is over. The holidays are over. We're going into May, June, July, which are the best months for network marketing, aside from the fact that the economic figures are coming out and they're very dismal, and gas prices are going up. They cut production, as Dr. Lee has told us. And so gas prices are going up as well. But people are looking for a way to bring in extra money, part-time or full-time income. If we are not there and mix and match, some people will be concerned about wellness. Other people the fuel tablets will trip their trigger. Everybody who is concerned about wellness will want to save money on gas. Not, the people who are interested in the gas pill might not be interested in health right now, but everybody going into the summer is interested on how they look. Look at Phil. Phil, how much weight did you lose so far?
I've lost 14 pounds so far. So I hit a little plateau in the last couple of weeks. I'm like Brian is. A lot of people eat to live. I live to eat, and that's one thing I haven't cut back on. It slows my. I have cut back on sweets, and that I attribute to the WoW, but I mean the POW. But because I'm doing like you are, RS, I changed my ownership to both, so that I have one of each, and I hope to God they don't get rid of glutathione. I hope they bring it in before we go through our last bottle.
Well,
I really believe that attuned with all the other has really done a job. But I've lost 14 pounds, and the main thing is I feel so much better, and my focus. For those of us that are full time in this thing, your focus better stay pretty good, and mine's off the charts. And I've got a lot of other things going on in our life right now. My son's in the hospital and a lot of other major things. And to have this kind of focus and be as pumped up as we are right now, when it's really critical to start building this business right now while Govi's like they are right now. I tell you what, this company is just, out of all the things that we've all been in, and a lot of us have been in some of the same things that have really done well, this company is going to exceed anything we've ever seen. So we better start.
right.
Listen to what Carissa has to say about that. Carissa, you'll really like that video I forwarded you.
Okay.
Good.
And I'll watch it and send it out to everybody too. Mike, we have about a minute left. Is there something that you'd like to contribute to the call before we sign off?
Hey, thank you, RCS. What Phil just said is I realize that because Betty's been telling me, say, man, you are up and at 'em and going, and I think it's something to do with that focus, Phil, with me.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I don't take, like tonight, I'll be honest with you, I came in, it's late out here, and I was hungry. So, we just grabbed 2 or 3 hard-boiled eggs and an avocado and a little bit of shrimp. But I mean, the focus is awesome. And the weight loss is good. Betty's down 3 or 4 or 5 pounds. Jeffrey Moore, who couldn't be with us tonight, I'll just close with this, and I'll let him tell the story next time, RS. But he's down over 30 pounds. But now Jeffrey's a big boy. So amazing stuff, helping everybody. Back to you, RS.
Okay, thanks very much, Mike. And again, we are a combined group here. We all are leaders. We are all building our own groups. Let's all chip in. Bring people to this call. I record these calls and I put them in a private link on my YouTube channel. So the only way that people can access these calls is if you send them the link to this whatever particular call it is that we do. If you'd like me to open them up so that they're just there for everybody, I can do that. Think about it and get back to me. Don't text me, but call me, please, or private message me, or even telegram me now, because I'm doing that now. And let me know what you think about that. I'm not opposed to opening it up. I think, though, that we are a cohesive, good team. We work together. We have a lot of good synergy. And if we can build this call, we can do something that none of the other teams are doing with that. And we can get people engaged. At some point, I could do a modified presentation with any one of you, or you guys could do it too. We could just use that form that they have, that sheet that I did the original WoW call with. And that recording is also in the back office. If you want, maybe what I'll do so far is, I think there's 4 or 5 calls. I will send out an email with all the links and tell you what each call is. So just archive that in your Gmail or wherever it is that you do it, and have it for future reference. And by all means, share these calls with everybody else. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you.
thank you very, very much. David, thank you for your contribution.
Thanks, RS. Great job.
Bill,
Yes, thank you.
we're sending prayers for your son. Brian,
Thank you.
thanks as always. Thank you for being
Amen.
here. Mike, thanks for contributing. David, tell Cheryl that we're so proud of her and looking forward to seeing her. By the way, Smiley, I hope we don't get cut off. Smiley and Rico is having a meeting in the Memphis, Tennessee area, maybe at the end of June, and they're firm it up and they'll let me know. And Smiley told me about it today. And David, if you're anywhere within driving distance, because you have all of those customers and promoters and stuff, that might be something for you to just put in your brain, and I'll keep you advised of what's going on, because Smiley's going to open that up to all of us as well. And anybody who has any promoters or prospects or family or friends, or enemies, frenemies in that area, if we get enough people from our team to go, I will go.
Okay.
So, and represent us all. So David, think about it, discuss it with Cheryl. I know you discuss everything with Cheryl, and some of the other people just put out some flyers there, verbal flyers, and see if people are interested in that. And it's going to be Burke and Lance are going to go. So that will be awesome. Just so you'll all know, get 100 people in the room and they'll bring people, and Lance and Burke will come to you.
Sounds great.
Great call. Thanks, RS.
Absolutely
See you guys.
wonderful call.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you.
folks. Thank you. Good night.
Night.
Thank you,
Good
everyone.
night.
Have a prosperous rest of the week. Bye-bye. Thanks for all you do.
Bye-bye.
RS, send me the info on the other team call.
Okay.
Thanks.